Hello, everybody. Good afternoon and welcome back to Nagoya here in Japan. It's the B.LEAGUE quarterfinals, game 2 between Nagoya Diamond Dolphins and Seahorses MIKAWA. The Dolphins arena for the second consecutive day is humming, it's buzzing, it's rocking and rolling. This is the B.LEAGUE, the competition that has captured the imagination of an entire nation. Seahorses MIKAWA, they win or it's over for this season. They win and they force a game 3 tomorrow. All they're worried about right now is coming out, executing, going play by play, and trying to get to the finish line to force that decider. For Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, they really struggled yesterday in that first half, but their quality came through in the second. You look at the competitiveness of the B-League playoffs so far, it has been something else. Brex and Chiba Jets knotted at 1 apiece. Ryukyu Golden Kings and Alvar Tokyo at 1-1. Nagoya up 1-0, and Hiroshima also up against San and Neo Phoenix. Of course, they're playing game 2 now. So our focus is on Nagoya and Seahorses and MIKAWA, and what possibly can they do differently, Seahorses MIKAWA, that can get them to the finish line. Well, here is game 1. You look back and it was a great effort. Both teams trading blows early on. Lehman getting out on the breakaway. And as usual, Zach August, hooping and scooping, spinning his way to the basket. Scott Etherton was terrific all the way around. His bounce pass into that low post to Thiago Soares, the Brazil international. There was August, showing you his athleticism, his ability to crash the boards. And Daisuke Lee really came out and played well yesterday, the Korea international. Turnovers became a problem for Seahorses MIKAWA, and they were punished. Soares getting out on the break. And how about Saito? Is there a more exciting player in this lineup than that man right there, the point guard? And the turnover, this was a costly mistake. Huge trip down the floor. Saito doesn't miss. And the point guard, did he live up to expectations or surpass them? I would think that he lived up to them. He was terrific. Nishida, it's crucial that he gets it going today. He didn't get it going yesterday from three-point range. Just wouldn't fall, just 1-3. So they're the respective percentages from game 1, and free throw issues also catching up. Well, did not catch up actually with Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Look at Seahorses MIKAWA. Their percentages on the season and then in game 1. So their free throw shooting. Well, I wouldn't say that was the main issue with them. It was that three-point shooting, 16% on the day. They just couldn't get it to fall. But every game is different, and that's how you have to look at it. You put it behind you and you focus on the here and now. You don't worry about what's already happened. There's nothing you can do about it. Shot it better inside the arc. It was a rough second half, particularly. I don't think it was for a lack of effort. I think it was just one of those things. They couldn't get it going when they needed to.
今日勝てばまたドルフィンズの歴史を塗り替えるということになりますけれども、改めてそこについての思いお願いします。
Thoughts about making history again if we win today. Obviously, we're very proud of what we've achieved over the last 3 years here. What we've built, the program we've built, the resilience we show. So to reward our loyal fans for many years of support and our boosters and our sponsors, etc., it just makes you feel really proud. And to see the players starting to, get those just rewards for all their hard work, and that's the most important part for us.
本当にここ過去3年間、本当に誇り高いです、このリーグこのプログラムをここまで作り上げてきて、粘り強さを見せるっていうのが本当に良かったと思いますし、それをファンのため、ブースターのため、スポンサーのために、ここ歴史を塗り替えれれば本当にいいご褒美になるんじゃないかなと思ってます。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
But you have to understand where Sean Dennis is coming from. They've won one game. I think he kind of wants to keep the lid on the celebrations. I mean, it's great to go up 1-0.
ゲーム2、どんなところを改善してこのゲーム臨んでいきますか？
So today, game 2, what part do you want to improve as a team?
Yeah, I think we need to improve kind of all over offensively and defensively. Play a little bit smarter, play a little bit more together, trust the pass a little more. And I'm excited to see our guys respond to yesterday. It's a playoff series, and they're up 1-0. It's first to two.
はい、全体オフェンス、ディフェンスともに全体的に改善する必要があると思っています。そして少しだけよりスマートに、でもう少し、チームとして共に、プレーをする、そしてチームメートを信じながらパスを流す、そういう風なプレーをよりやっていきたいと思います。選手たちが昨日からどういう風にリスポンドするか、自分としては見るのがすごく楽しみです。これプレーオフシリーズ今 0-1 でありますが、ここからまた勝って明日につなげることが非常に楽しみです。
And Coach Richmond, well, you got to take on board what he says. It's the first to two. And he's excited to see how this team responds. So are all these fans that travel to see him. It's a great crowd that's come from to support Seahorses. MIKAWA, who have August, Nakamura, Nagano. I think he needs to step up a little bit more today. Layman, Kubota had some good and bad moments yesterday. Sumino didn't play that much, surprisingly. Nishida, again, is the key. Ishii, Schaefer, Lee, and Devontae Gardner. I'm not sure that you could ask more from Gardner. If anything, I just wonder maybe if he played a little too much yesterday because he was exhausted by the end of the day. I mean, full credit to him for going out and doing everything he could to help the team, but playing 28 plus minutes is hard for a big man like that. And it's going to be August, Nagano, Layman, Nishida, and Lee in the starting five today. So August gets the nod, and Gardner comes off the bench. And you really can't say enough about, in my opinion, about August, how hard and how well he's played and how he's adapted, his attitude. He has really been a force for this Seahorses MIKAWA team, and that energy is going to be crucial for this team. They really need the backcourt to step up today, and Nishida, especially 25 years of age, Japan international, looking back. Now this was a great play by Nishida. Great catch, great finish. And I remember one sequence where he made a great play on defense and then went down and scored, got a block. This was, when he gets it going, he is a weapon. So here he was putting the ball on the deck and getting to the basket. So he had 9 points. And then you had this man, Suda, the captain. Wasn't huge from a scoring standpoint like he could be, but nevertheless, his presence was felt, his leadership, and I think that has to be a concern for Richmond and for Seahorses MIKAWA, that I don't think Yutaro Suda is going to have 2 quiet games in a row. So they've got the home court advantage. Again, we wanted to highlight these 2 players. I think it's a great comparison. 2 players that can play, I think, a lot better, if not harder. They played hard yesterday, but they can play better than they played yesterday, and it could be that these 2 guys take center stage. And I would say that it's probably more crucial for Seahorses MIKAWA that Nishida does take center stage today, because they don't have quite as many weapons as the team they're facing. This Nagoya Diamond Dolphins team is loaded. Bobby Ray Parks, another one who could be a big-time player. Saito was outstanding. Ito, Kikuchi, Imanishi, Harimoto, Soares, Suda. Nakahigashi was terrific off the bench. Sato, Wakano Smith, Etherton, and Sakamoto. And again, Nagoya, one of the top offensive teams, 3rd highest scoring team, more than 84 points. They get a lot of assists, a lot of 3-pointers that fall for them, and they're also a good rebounding team. So it's not going to be easy at all for Seahorses MIKAWA. So it's going to be Parks, Saito, Soares, Suda, and Etherton in the starting 5. In other words, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That was the same starting 5 from yesterday. Etherton was really good. I felt like it wasn't that he was anonymous yesterday. He came out and had a couple of big-time dunks to start the game, and then didn't score anything else for the rest of the first half, but boy, did he turn it on in the second half. He was terrific. So he finished with 15 points. There you have Etherton, Soares, Suda, Bobby Ray Parks, and Saito on the left for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins in the starting 5. And you've got Nagano, Nishida, Lehman, Lee, and today in the starting 5, August in the starting 5 for MIKAWA, Seahorses MIKAWA. Now, I think you should also, you go back and you look at that overall depth, how crucial it is for this home team today, Nagoya, and you got quality in abundance coming off the bench. Takuma Sato, just an out-and-out winner. So Josh Smith coming off the bench. But I think Richmond, he had the game plan yesterday. It was the right game plan. But sometimes it comes down to making shots. Don't turn the ball over. And they really had an issue turning the basketball over yesterday, and it was costly. So we'll see if they can turn that around today. Well, you've been thinking about Game 2. You've been excited about Game 2. And now you've got Game 2 in this quarterfinals between Nagano Diamond Dolphins and Seahorses MIKAWA. Nagoya Diamond Dolphins in the red, and Seahorses MIKAWA, led by the point guard Nagano, in the white. Lehman. Here's Nagano, hits the 3. Well, that's a great sign, isn't it? August coming out, putting his body on Etherton early. Saito gets it to Etherton, and he is blocked. Solid defensive start. It's going to be interesting to see what types of changes, if any, tactically that have been made. Lehman puts it up from deep. So a couple of early threes. Defense looks a little more intense, really, for this Seahorses MIKAWA team. Suda left a little bit of daylight. Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to stay at this end. Saito gets it into Bobby Ray Parks. The Filipino international lets it fly, and that was short, but an offensive rebound. Back to Parks again. If at first you don't succeed, keep trying. And already a plus for Parks, who had a quiet game one. And it's good to see him taking that shot, and August called for the moving screen. So that's a turnover. Here's Bobby Ray Parks. Etherton gets in and scores, kind of leaned into Lehman, used his body well, and got a wide open layup. And another offensive foul. And can you believe it? Hiroshima have won their game 2 against San in Neo Phoenix, one of the top teams this season. They move on to the semifinals. So that will be the team, Hiroshima Dragonflies, that takes on the winner of this battle. Etherton goes down easily. Saito makes the three-pointer. Well, if they win this game today, I've got a sneaking suspicion he could end up being the MVP, because he just does not look like he's putting a foot wrong right now. Here's Nishida. So 8 unanswered points have been scored by the Dolphins. The Diamond Dolphins now make it 10, and Richmond has to be thinking about getting a timeout. Lehman drives in and scores. What a fantastic finish. So that stops the rot. They had given up 10 consecutive points. So they should count the basket. This is the and one. So it's 10-6. The points slow to register. There you go. Now it's 10-6. Here's Saito. Drifts in over to Suarez. Boy, he missed that one badly, didn't he? And then Etherton with the push and the hand checks. I mean, let's see if he's pushing here on August. Well, all I can say is for Etherton, you want to play physical, but you don't want to give away cheap fouls. That's calling it quite tight. And he's got 2 fouls. That's an early development that you have to keep your eye on. Losing Etherton is a significant issue. You bring in Smith, but you lose the mobility of Etherton. Here's Lehman. Saito drives in, And here's the advantage of August. He can rebound and run. And misses the runner. Suarez back to the basket. The double team comes out to Parks. And 3-second violation. Parks has to be ready to shoot that when he catches it. Here's Lee. Back outside to Nagano. He had the three at the start of the game. Into the corner, Nishida. Can he get it going? Still will not drop for Yudai Nishida, but Lee really picking up his game, gets the rebound. August spins, turns, great defense. Well, I'm still trying to digest the news that San Antonio Phoenix have been swept by Hiroshima. There is Ito coming into the game early on. And Devontae Gardner comes in as well as Avi Schaefer. And really with San Antonio Phoenix, don't forget they lost both of their games last weekend to Seahorses MIKAWA. And you wonder about their psyche coming into the playoffs. Where were they mentally? And it also just illustrates how you've got the regular season and you've got the postseason. Once you get to the postseason, it's like starting over. What a nightmare for San Antonio Phoenix. Here's Ito, keeps it. Catches, turns. Saito, misses another one. Naka Higashi. He was great yesterday, puts it up, and he misses. And unselfish play there by Avi Schaefer, just letting the ball go out of bounds. He's not trying to compile those rebounding stats. Just let it go. Suda arguing that he was hit on his release. So Devontae Gardner looks raring to go. Saw him bringing it up the floor quickly. And you could appreciate, Devontae Gardner is a big man, but look how big Josh Smith is on Avi Schaefer missing. He needs to go up with that a little bit stronger. Go into Suarez, much like Suarez did there. Make him feel you. Here's Suda. And they force the ball out of his hands, forcing the turnover. Well, it's been a struggle for the captain. Good job. Devontae Gardner coming over and helping out. Devontae Gardner wide open. Count that. It's a 1-point game. We saw him hit a three yesterday. And that is a problem. Josh Smith does not want to go out and have to guard him. Look at Josh Smith get the offensive rebound. Oh! Kind of threw that left arm into Devontae Gardner clearing out. Joshua Smith. Are they going to look at this to see if this is an unsportsmanlike foul on? They called the foul. Watch this. Watch this at the end. So they called the foul on Seahorses MIKAWA, but I think we could end up seeing the unsportsmanlike foul, 2 free throws. I'm not sure if they called a shooting foul on MIKAWA, But if they call the unsportsmanlike, the ball will go over to Seahorses for a couple of free throws and possession. So Josh Smith is a big, big man. I'm not sure there's probably a lot of sumo wrestlers in Japan that wouldn't like to go up against him because he knows how to use his body. Okay, let's see what the call is. Oh. So they do not call the unsportsmanlike foul. I tell you what, he was walking a tightrope there. I think they got away with one. That looked like an unsportsmanlike to me. I think Josh Smith was a little bit frustrated and kind of hit out at Gardner. Anytime you throw your arm like that, I don't know why the referees made that decision, to be honest. I would have thought that was pretty cut and dry. So the 2 free throws for Josh Smith. He was in the shooting motion. And he makes the first. I think in a way, by making that call, by not calling an unsportsmanlike, you're kind of telling the guys, hey, we're going to let you play today. This is going to be a physical game. He makes 1 of 2. But what was interesting is that they called that second foul on Etherton where he had his hands on August. So I don't see the correlation, really. And here you get the foul on Ito, the bump. So they call that foul. I tell you what, Ito has absolutely no chance guarding Devontae Gardner anywhere. He's just too big. Ito is feisty. Okay, Etherton comes back into the game. And can they get Devontae Gardner going 5th in scoring in the B-League this season? So it just goes to show how crucial he is. 18.5 points per game. Nagano, count that. Well, if Nishida's not making them, get the basketball to Nagano. That's his second three-pointer of the game. And how about that? Saito. I told you, I mean, you got a guy that comes off the bench that can drill it. But what I like about Takuma Sato is he does what's needed. He will get you the rebound. He will dive for the loose ball. He will set the screen. He will come out and make a play on defense, or he will hit a three-pointer. He just does what is needed. He's got championship DNA. And offensive foul. So Ito this time does win the battle on defense. And that's a good call. I mean, Nagano's got to do a better job than that. He's got to know he can't throw his whole body into Ito. And I think this is where, and I'm happy to be proved wrong, Kubota has to really deliver some quality minutes today when he's on the court. And here he does, gets the steal, so a great play. Look at Lehman. Oh, Lehman gets it back. You can understand why Lehman was in a rush to get down the court quickly, but you got to do it under control. Smith going to work on Gardner. Great play by Smith. And because they did not call the unsportsmanlike, he has to feel like he's been given permission to go hard. Here is, oh, how about Guata? Answering the call. First on defense, and then with the jumper. Ito, he misses. And Avi Schaefer with the rebound. Devontae Gardner shows the handles. Look at him bring it up the court. And Smith, they're going to count that. Look at that. And again, the lack of mobility of Josh Smith. This is not, and Devontae Gardner knows it. He's going to take it right to the hoop, already in his motion, and he takes it all the way. And Joshua Smith picks up his first foul, so he comes out of the game. Now Gardner, who didn't start today, catches his breath and has a chance to put his team back in front. And Gardner does indeed sink the free throw to complete the three-point play. August is back in. He has to be careful. He doesn't foul Saito in an offensive foul. Higashi. I have to look at this again. I didn't see it. Well, if that was Kubota that he fouled, Kubota is just not putting a foot wrong today. He's becoming an X factor. Gardner. Oh my goodness. What a turn and score for Devontae Gardner. And that's a smart move because Etherton has 2 fouls, so he can't be too aggressive defensively. Take it right at him. Higashi knocks it down. That's a sign of a good player after committing the foul, coming right back and putting it up and scoring. I love the mental toughness in this Nagoya Diamond Dolphins team. In fact, I like it as well with MIKAWA. But over the 40 minutes, you wonder if MIKAWA are going to be as strong mentally as the Diamond Dolphins. Gardner with the shot clock winding down, puts up a very difficult shot. And August not happy. He was open. Gardner could have passed to August for an open jumper or drive. Here's August trying to stick with Saito. This is interesting. Now they switch. And Saito fades. August has it. And that is the end of a thrilling first quarter. Absolute blinder. 19-18. Seahorses MIKAWA with a narrow advantage over Nagoya at the end of one. Well, this is one of the big plays. Devontae Gardner taking it all the way and getting to the free throw line. But I felt like on his next possession, he tried to do too much. Here he was as well, going to work. I mean, overall, you got to let him play. He's been good. So the 2 fouls on Etherton, if somehow, some way they could get a third foul on him, that would be a huge development, get him out of the game and force Sean Dennis to make a decision, whether it's bringing in Smith or someone else. And as good as Smith is and as many problems as he can create, his lack of mobility, I think, is a big issue in a game like this. Nakahigashi, who just scored, gives the basketball to Etherton. Etherton, bats it out, and August was there. He saw what was coming. Well, it doesn't look like Etherton's going to back down. They've got him guarding Avi Schaefer, who's not quite as offensive-minded as this man. And Gardner gets in and misses another. And a couple of times now, Gardner, I think, is trying to do too much. He's got to get rid of it. Here's Nakahigashi. Drives in. Good defense. That was Ishii playing D, and now the three-pointer from August. So 3 bigs effectively on the court right now. This is an interesting alignment. Etherton, entry pass. Suarez from the left. Man, he is clutch. They have got a roster to envy. So many players able to step up and make plays. And Gardner goes in. This time does not get the call. Suarez doing a good job defensively. Saito takes it all the way. So whether it's Saito, whether it's Suarez, whether it's Nakahigashi, they are making the plays. And look at Avi Schaefer. Slow to get up. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Oh, he was tripped up from behind by Nakahigashi. I don't think it was on purpose. Looks like he's turned his ankle. So it's looking like he's going to have to come out of the game. Oh, maybe it's he's aggravated a knee problem, which he has that wrap on. Oh, that's a big blow for him personally, but also for Richmond, who was employing the 3 big man lineup. So he's going to have to come out of the game, and let's see who he puts in. I don't think they're gaining any type of advantage, to be honest, with all 3 on the court. Just seeing how this Nagoya Diamond Dolphins team has reacted, it just feels like they've got too much. I mean, Suarez just kind of bides his time, lets the game come to him. Nishida, I think, continues to be the key. He can't force it, but he needs to produce. And the same with Lehman. Oh, nice bounce pass. And Etherton with his 3rd foul. Well, there you have it. Look at this again. Yeah, I mean, it was risky. It was risky. And, that, you know, the referee, you got to give him credit in terms of being brave enough to make that call. If he felt like he was moving, he wasn't set. So August makes the first. August makes both to put MIKAWA back in front. Ishii in the game right now, number 27. Guarding Saito. And Smith back in the game as well. Oh, look at Smith. I mean, I cannot understand the refs letting him throw his arms like that. Here he is. He got away with another push-off. He's got to be careful with those arms. Nishida to Lehman. Knocks it down. 6 points from number 10. Former Maryland Terp. And the ball batted away. Kubota has been outstanding. Lehman, he's got to make these. Remember, they shot just 16% from three-point range yesterday. So they're 5 of 9 from three-point range today. What a difference it makes to make some threes. And there's another one. Look at that. 6 of 10. Well, if they're going to come out and make threes, now that changes everything. And I think those three-pointers are one reason why they're there and they're wide open is because Smith is in the game. You have one less man to make that rotation. So Sean Dennis has got to make some decisions. Look at this. I mean, Smith is actually out on the perimeter, but not getting a hand up in the face. And Lehman is not shy about putting him up. He's now leading the way with 9 points. Gardner 8, Nagano 6, and August has 5. And again, I would have thought Nishida was a guy that has to get it going for Seahorses MIKAWA. He hasn't got it going yet. But again, we're still in the first half. At some point, it feels like he's going to have to step up. There's Avi Schaefer. Had to leave the game after kind of aggravating his knee problem. And Etherton out of the game with 3 fouls. For me, that is a huge blow for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. He is in this lineup over the course of 40 minutes, he's irreplaceable. Defensively, his quickness, and he can hurt you when he gets the ball in his hands in that low post. And here's the turnover, and Nishida puts it up and in. And coming out of a timeout, you could not have had a worse development for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. And now they're all, they turned it over again. Unbelievable. What defense from Seahorses MIKAWA and Sean Dennis's team. It's like they've been hit with a flurry of punches. They're on the ropes. And boy, Bobby Ray Parks. I'm not sure that was a great pass. It might have been right at his feet. Well, here's the opportunity they were looking for. Seahorses MIKAWA, can they press home the advantage? And August needs to be careful. He doesn't want to get a technical. And I think they've called it. Unbelievable. You must maintain your emotional discipline. You pick up an extra foul. You give the other team a free throw. And this is just really unacceptable for August. I mean, I'm sure he feels awful about what he just did. He's going to walk it off and cool off. You're up 7. You've had some calls go your way, and just because you don't get a call doesn't mean you lash out at the referee. That is a momentum-changing play right there, because also you pick up a second foul. Parks falls down. And very fortunate Parks, he hasn't turned it over again. Well, in fact, right now, Bobby Ray Parks has not been charged with a turnover, but he was involved in a couple. Suarez comes out of the game. It really feels like, with that technical foul, that this Seahorses MIKAWA team has almost let Nagoya off the hook. Look at that. John Smith with the rebound and put back. This becomes a huge possession from a momentum standpoint. If Nagoya come back and tie it or take the lead, the air is going to come out of the balloon of MIKAWA. So this is a foul on Kikuchi, the veteran. Big possession. Get the ball to Lehman. It's been hot. Oh, they find Kubota, the X Factor. Great pass. Bobby Ray. Smith. And great defense again by Kubota, reaching in and knocking it away. And look at Parks. Terrific decision. And now the turnover by MIKAWA. Oh my. Bobby Ray Parks for 3. And somebody's got to be open if they go quickly. And Nishida with the lob. Wow. They were flirting with disaster. Seahorses, had Bobby Ray Parks scored, they would have cut it to 2, but instead they're able to counterattack quickly. Almost turning it over. And the lob by Nishida to Lehman. And Lehman's been fantastic. Timeout. Lehman actually has 11, I think. Okay, we'll go with that right now. 9 for Lehman, 8 for Gardner. Nagado has 6, August 5, and Kubota. Kubota has been the X factor. Look at him. He has been amazing coming off the bench. I mean, I did not think we would see this from him. Kubota he's got the 4 points. He has an assist, and he has 2 steals. Smith has 7 points, Parks 5, Suarez 5, Sato 5. Saito hasn't been quite as influential today. And obviously, Etherton out of the game with 3 fouls. Nakahigashi with a low dribble and does not turn it over. Suarez, boy, you cannot speak highly enough of Suarez. I mean, he makes pressure shots. Now the pressure in the backcourt. Kubota able to get it up. Oh, nice touch pass to Gardner. And nice step for Gardner, and he scores. They were looking for a foul as well. Didn't get it. Nakahigashi, Suarez again. Not this time. Well, he's allowed to miss one every so often. Kubota down to Gardner. Ishii. Nishida still cannot get it to go, but Gardner there for the putback. Well, it doesn't matter if Nishida doesn't make his shots as long as Gardner is cleaning up the mess with the offensive rebounds. So they've been warned about not interfering with the basketball after the made shot, or they'll call it technical. So if it happens again, so here's Nishida, for whatever reason, just can't get on track. And yeah, it was Ishii who hit the ball away. So he has to be careful with that. And look at that. The foul on Saito. And the defensive pressure from Seahorses MIKAWA making a huge impact on this game. Look at this. So Joshua Smith did not get that call against him, and for me it was even more obvious, more blatant. But they do make the call against Saito. And again, that just illustrates with August, you're going to get some calls, and some calls you're not going to get, and you just have to keep playing. That was MIKAWA looking for the, oh, look at this. Out of bounds play, they get a layup. It's a 9-point advantage. Lee lays it up and in. And the Seahorses MIKAWA fans enjoying their Sunday. Now the ball almost gets away. Saito back in the game to Suarez. Into the corner it goes. Saito misses. Look at Smith. Boy, you got to be a brave man to go up and rebound against him. That is a lot of body coming at you. Shot clock about to expire. Saito for three. Clutch. Number 2. 7 points. Cometh the hour. Once again, further illustrates how they just have players that can make plays in clutch situations. Oh, what a catch. Great decision. So timeout. So for Nagoya, Takuma Saito is one of the best offensive players this season. 4th in assists, 8th in three-pointers, shooting at a 39.8% clip, and 7th overall at the free throw line at 85.9%. So no surprise. But how about Nishida catching it down low, scoring, and using advantage of his height in the mismatch. And here's Saito just telling you about one of the premier players in this competition. And we've seen it so often in this quarterfinal. Seahorses MIKAWA fans making a lot of noise. 8 points the advantage. Their biggest lead has been 9 points. Nagoya. They get it to Suarez, who has it knocked out of his hands. I think it was Lehman. Nagano's well short. Oh, what a break. What a break from MIKAWA. No, Saito complaining he was fouled. I don't believe it. Watch this. Right at the end of the play. Oh, maybe. Well, Gardner was reaching in. Nice entry pass. Great defense. Saito Lehman gets it back. Oh, what a block from Saito. Lee. Nishida. Finally! Right at the end of the shot clock, and it's their biggest lead of the game, 11 points. Lee comes out, fouls on the perimeter, not a problem. Not close to being over the limit. So Nishida finally gets a 3 to go. And, well, if you are a shooter, you have to keep shooting. That's the bottom line. And that's one thing I'll say about Nishida. At no time has he ever looked reluctant to shoot it just because his shot had not been falling. Saito. Ooh. Saito. Oh, my. Oh, my. This B.LEAGUE, we talk so much about Kawamura. We speak so much about Tagashi. We need to start talking about Saito. Offensive foul on Gardner. I believe that's 2 on him. Yep. I think Richmond needs to think about getting him out of the game. You don't want to pick up a third. But he can't go to Schaefer if he's injured, so Gardner needs to be careful. I would be tempted to get it into Smith, but anyway. Instead, they go to Suda. Yutaro Suda. Now Gardner, quickly up the floor. 16 seconds. Differential to go quickly. 2 for 1, and Nishida does not turn it over. Are they thinking about a 2 for 1 with a 7-second differential on the game clock? Do you? Now I'm not so sure. I think you just get a good shot. Good defense from Josh Smith. I think Nishida could have gone past him if he had just kept going to the basket. But anyway, we'll listen in. So let's see, they are not in a rush. They're going to use all 14 seconds on this shot clock. And Nagano misses. Is that what they were looking for? Surely not. So the play wasn't there. Now they got to play defense. So this would be a huge bucket if the Diamond Dolphins can get one right at the end and they turn it over. So now with 2.9 seconds left, can MIKAWA get something? But they need to be careful. They don't want to turn it over and give the Diamond Dolphins a shot. Inbound it. They get a look for three. And Lee not able to get it to go. Gardner, after a little bump, went down trying to get a foul called. And the referees did not fall for it. Seahorses MIKAWA leading at 47-41 over Nagoya Diamond Dolphins in Game 2 of this B.LEAGUE quarterfinal here in the Dolphins Arena. We are at halftime. Well, we're at halftime, 47-41. Seahorses MIKAWA have changed the chip, shall we say. That man hasn't. He's been terrific for the second consecutive day. Saito. But Lehman has been outstanding. He's been pouring in the points. So's Devontae Gardner. Lehman has 11. Gardner came off the bench today. Nagano did well, had a couple of three-pointers. Takuma Sato, as usual, has been his normal clutch player self. Joshua Smith has been dominating at times, maybe a little bit unlucky not to get the foul called there, actually, when you look at Gardner lowering his legs. But then Devontae Gardner getting the three-point play on this one. Etherton, I think this was Soares hitting the three. I think Etherton picking up 3 fouls, though, has been crucial. And if he can come in and stay on the court in the second half, that'll make a big difference. The big question is, can this Seahorses MIKAWA team continue to make shots the way that they did in the first half? And can they get some easy buckets? Can they force some uncharacteristic mistakes and capitalize? You can see they forced a couple of turnovers back-to-back. That helped them, but then Saito always seems to pop up at the most important times for his team. Nishida has struggled shooting the basketball, but this was his three-pointer. And we will see if that makes a huge difference for him. But Saito, once again, he had several three-pointers yesterday. And he's got 3 three-pointers today. 3 of 4 from deep. So overall, if you look at other than the score, and you look at the three-point shooting, each team has hit 7 threes, 2 more makes inside the arc for Seahorses MIKAWA. And Seahorses MIKAWA, I think, holding their own on the boards, just 2 less rebounds than Nagoya. And then you look at some of the other stats, like points off turnovers. Well, we'll look at points in the paint, 16 for the home team, whereas Seahorses MIKAWA have 20. Fast break points, just 4 for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, and I guess 12 for Seahorses MIKAWA. And you get the leading scores. Saito, 10 points. 12 points for Devontae Gardner. 8 rebounds for Soares. 4 assists for Saito. So Saito continues to be the MVP of this team, in my opinion. I think anybody would agree with that, just his overall impact on the game for Nagoya. But the difference is today that Seahorses MIKAWA have had multiple players step up, including Kubota. So Kubota has 4 points and a couple of steals, also an assist. So he's been vital off the bench. You got Nishida and Suda. Nishida, both players haven't been shooting it great from deep. Yotaro Suda did score down low. Those 2 guys, Japanese national team shooting guards. Hugely important for their teams. And, well, if you're not making shots, you know what you got to do? You got to play defense. And I'm sure the coaches are saying the same thing, or thinking the same thing. As long as the effort is there defensively with these guys, and they're not hurting us on that end of the floor, they're going to play. So second half is underway. Remember, San and Neo Phoenix have already lost to Hiroshima. Lee out to Lehman, a meter behind the arc, and so unlike the first half when Nagano came out and nailed the three-pointer, Lehman puts up an air ball. But overall today, he's been really good. Lehman had hit 2 of his first 4 threes, so now he's 2 of 5. Etherton with the 3 fouls, back in the game. His bounce pass gets to Saito, it was deflected. Saito, again, looks good, is good. Boy, I'm really starting to wonder if this guy might be the best shooter in the B-League. I mean, he is just ridiculous. Look at this. It is... He doesn't have a lot of rotation on the basketball, which is interesting, but he just is on the money. Here's Lehman. Oh, boy. Nishida threw it right into the hands of Saito. And then great hustle back by Lee. But, gosh, Nishida cannot afford to turn the basketball over cheaply. Great hustle back by Lee. Lee has been great. I mean, I've been impressed by Lee in this series. I didn't think he had a good weekend last week against San and Neo Phoenix, but he's been terrific. Here's August. Oh, August needs to watch his elbows. Nagano. Now, quickly up the floor to Nakahigashi. Not a good start to the second half for for Seahorses. MIKAWA and Etherton scores and is fouled, and they've got a chance to tie the game. And Seahorses MIKAWA are wobbling. And just further evidence how important Etherton is to this team. So Nishida picks up the foul. The momentum swinging to Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, who have not tied it. They still trail by 1. So mentally, psychologically, how important is that he just missed the free throw? But there's no doubt about it. They need a bucket right now. Nishida from the left. Great rebound by August. Now he turns it over. And Suarez has it taken away. So good D, chance to break. And here's Lee. And great defense right at the end by Saito, Mr. MVP. Look at Lee. He's asking, why is there no foul? Let's have a look at this. Is there a foul here? It doesn't look like it. It looked like it was pretty good D. That hurts MIKAWA that they weren't able to score in transition there. When you're struggling and you're looking for buckets, you want to get something easy, and it looked like they had it, but they didn't capitalize. Here's Lehman. Great defense once again. They are locking down the paint. They are giving nothing away. Suda takes it in, back outside. Suarez down to Etherton. Good D lead, knocking it away. And he turns it over. Or no, did they call a foul here? Oh, they called a foul on Lee for a reach. Watch this. Oh, yeah. Well, it probably saved him a bucket because Etherton was going in for the go-ahead layup. 2 fouls on Lee. Nakahigashi open. Does not drop. Still looking for their first points to the second half. Seahorses MIKAWA. They get it down low to August. Oh. And now it's getting to the point where it's going to start getting in their heads. I mean, August, trying to free himself, just lost control of his dribble. And you got to wonder, where is Gardner? Yeah, he needs to come into the game. And that's exactly what's going to happen. But here's the thing, Nagoya, they've had a couple chances to take the lead. And here's Torres! And wow, I would have put money on him making that. But he misses. Another reprieve for Seahorses MIKAWA. 3.5 minutes into the second half, looking for their first points of this third quarter. Nagano to August. Count it! You got to wonder, is Gardner coming in for him? So Suda commits the foul in August at the line for an important free throw. So Lehman's coming out, and Gardner. And I wonder if that was the initial plan, or was he coming in for August? I bet you he was, but because August is at the line, Lehman is going to sit down. Boy, what a break. After the missed free throw, the offensive rebound. Let's see if Gardner can make a difference. Oh, nice spin. Nice bucket. Boy, that is a huge swing. 4-point trip down the floor. Wow. Nakahigashi in the paint. Tried to bank it in. And it's going to be MIKAWA basketball. Well, it feels kind of uncharacteristically seeing this Nagoya Diamond Dolphins miss so many shots when they had the chance to pull even and take the lead even. And how good is Devontae Gardner? He comes right into the game and he makes a tough shot. Here's Lee. Nishida. Circus shot. There's the follow from August. Can't get it to go. And the whistle blows. Now what have they called here? A foul. Oh, the ball was out of bounds. That's what it was. Suda. So another break. I tell you what, they are living right, MIKAWA. Oh, boy, fell asleep. Saito took it away. Pulls up for three. And they continue to dodge bullets. MIKAWA consider themselves lucky. They've made a few mistakes here in this third quarter, and they haven't been punished for them. Gardner trying to get the basketball into August. And the whistle blows and the foul. And I'm seeing they're really emphasizing the interior passing game, even with Nagoya Diamond Dolphins locking down the paint. And I'm not sure. It feels like they're trying to force it too much. Because it looks like to me Nagoya have it covered. Somebody needs to hit a shot. Lee uses the glass. 7-point advantage. Nakahagashi! Mister, I'll get you a bucket when you need it. August open. Oh, almost a travel for Etherton. So back to a 4-point deficit. How big was that shot? Is he going to put up another one? He's looking for space. He drives in. He gets it to the corner. Suda. Gardner fouled by Josh Smith, who goes down after the collision. Boy, that is a lot of flesh on flesh. They help Smith up. Look at this. Oh my. Oh my. Folks, if you felt a tremor, don't worry, it was not an earthquake. That was Josh Smith hitting the hardwood. But he bounces up and is ready to play some more defense. Nagano took it deep, and Ito whistled for the foul. That's a good call. He's up there catching, and you're putting your hands all over him. Nishida's going to sit down for a minute. So Schaefer says he's able to give him a few minutes. He comes back into the game. Lehman also back in the game. Here's Nagano. Well, Ishii's also in the game. Here's Nakahigashi missing. Well, the offense has dried up in a big way for Nagoya. Quick pass. Schaefer. Well, he looked like he got down the floor well there. He says he was pushed. I'm not so sure. Etherton to the corner. Ito. Nakahigashi. Quick chance to run for Lehman. Here's Ishii for three. Count that. Huge shot. The lead goes back to 9. I wasn't sure that I liked that lineup, but actually, it responded. Great play by Nagano. He asked for the ball. He got it quickly to his teammate. And when you get an open three like that, if you're Ishii, you need to knock it down, and it's exactly what he did. The veteran, all 36 years of age of Ishii, hits a huge three-pointer. Well, you go back to the pregame and you remember what Coach Richmond said. It's the first team to 2 wins that claims the quarterfinal. So even though they lost that first one, they're looking at it like it's game on, and they have come out locked in. I do think, however, Nagoya have helped them a little bit here in this third quarter. They just uncharacteristically have been missing a lot of shots I think they would normally make. Saito back in the game. I think it's imperative that Saito has to be on the floor. Ishii guarding Saito. Suarez. And the basketball batted away. I think Gardner got a hand on it. I don't think Nagoya want to go to a game 3, that's for sure. Ishii short, but Schaefer goes up. Boy, he took a pounding by Josh Smith with no call. Here's Gardner. Suarez with a big rebound. Can they get the ball to Suarez, maybe? Here he goes. Oh, boy, Saito, they left the wrong man open. Excellent work. I'm going to have to get on the phone to Tom Hovass and tell him he needs to get this guy a serious look this summer because he is lights out shooting the basketball. My goodness. So coming back out of the timeout. Seahorses MIKAWA leading by 6 after the Saito 3. Kubota, who was terrific in the first half. Here he is. Passes it back outside. And they don't even get a shot off. Not sure where that one broke down, if that was Kubota's fault. He had the ball, he was the last man to touch it. Well, Saito just hit 1 3. Let's see if he can get another. He's hit 4 today. He had several yesterday. I'm not sure there's a hotter shooter in Japan right now than this man who has the ball. Saito. Nice bounce pass to Etherton. Great recovery by Gardner. Wow. Able to reach in and knock it away from Etherton. Nice no-look pass. And boy, oftentimes you'll see a ref blow the whistle even when it's not a foul. He did not that time. 5 on the shot clock. Saito gets it to Etherton. No, it goes through his hands. Suda has it, puts it up from 3, misses, and big-time rebound from Lehman. Oh, my. Gardner back to the basket. Going to work. Passes. Kubota misses it badly. Well short. And Saito again. They don't want to leave him open. Ishii has done a pretty decent job guarding him. He gets picked by Etherton. They switch. Now they're going to get Takuma Sato open. It's Saito. Sato puts it up. And that is the end of the quarter. Sato hoping they were going to blow the whistle. They do not. So Seahorses MIKAWA with 10 minutes remaining, leading 58-52. 'Well, Saito has really provided. He's done pretty much everything he could for his team in this series, but today he hasn't had the support. But even then, you've still got 10 minutes remaining, and I think you get a pretty good idea that Saito's going to make his shots when he's open. And there's the battle, and Lehman comes up with it. Oh, almost a backcourt violation. Kubota has it, dribbles right. Oh, Saito, oh, and that's an unsportsmanlike. Ishii makes a massive mistake grabbing the jersey. So Saito is going to get a couple of free throws. I cannot understand. I mean, first of all, it's hard to understand that pass. And then to further complicate it. And these are the types of plays that will get a team eliminated. So they review it. There's no doubt about it. It's an unsportsmanlike 2 free throws. I think sometimes, you know, if you need to practice good habits, and you do see a lot of shirt grabbing, and the reason why you should never do it and you should call it out when you're practicing is because of this reason right here. I mean, it is just not acceptable. You get absolutely nothing from grabbing his jersey, especially in the open floor like this, right in front of the referees. So Saito goes to the line and makes the first. And on top of this, they're going to get the basketball. So it could be a huge play. I hope for Ishii's sake that this does not turn this quarterfinal series in the way of Nagoya. Saito is about as automatic as they come. He's got 18 points And in a sense, you get the feeling that he's putting his team on his back and carrying them, because nobody else right now is at his level. He is almost willing them to victory. Here he is. They're trailing by 4. He gets it over to Suda. And, it's going to stay at this end. Suda just can't buy a bucket. Saito 5 of 8 from 3-point range. Here's Suda again. Oh. And another offensive rebound. This time Saito's pass deflected, goes to Etherton. And the 3, and still will not drop for Suda. Suda, I think, 0 for 8 from 3-point range. And like Nishida, he has to keep putting them up. Sometimes they just do not drop. Nice pass down low. Avi Schaefer. Sato. Well, they've had so many chances to pull even or take the lead today, and they haven't. Suda gets it blocked. It goes to Etherton. He's blocked by Gardner. Oh, boy. Suda just cannot buy a bucket. Suda's 1 for 11 from the floor today. Kubota dribbles left. And traveling is the call. Nagano back in the game. So he replaces Kubota. And Ishii can breathe a sigh of relief that his unsportsmanlike foul has not swung the momentum like it could have. But there's still time. Oh. Ishii trying to stay with Saito. They get it over to Suarez. Count that! He's 3 of 6 from 3-point range today. He and Saito are the 2 guys that are knocking down the threes. Back to a 3-point game. Gardner gets blocked. I mean, Gardner is a very good player and he can take on anybody, but you can't take on 4 players. Etherton, Saito. If a 3 falls here, it's going to be tied. Etherton takes it deep, passes it back outside. Takuma Sato drives in. It's a 1-point game. Boy. And I think Richmond eager to get some replacements in the game. Again, a huge possession. You feel like the dam is about to burst. And Lehman denied. Nakahigashi fouled at midcourt. Seahorses and MIKAWA just trying to hold on. Great job, Nakahigashi, and they're really forcing it in the paint. Nagano picks up the foul. How many times today have we seen Seahorses and MIKAWA try to jam it in? August is going to come into the game now. Bounce pass. Etherton, you can count it. Oh boy, look out. They've finally taken the lead. And of course, it had to be Saito that delivered the pass and put it on a platter for Etherton. Etherton just so good with his driving. Really is. And it's a 2-point lead. Boy, they have dodged so many bullets today, Seahorses, MIKAWA. And I think much like yesterday, haven't played as well in the second half. But it looked like they were going to escape, but I think their decision-making on offense has left a little bit to be desired. They've just been forcing it in the paint. There goes Nagano again, back outside to Lee. He lets it fly. And MIKAWA reeling right now. Nakahigashi, they've got to be tough on defense here. They've got to get a stop in the rebound. They've given away a lot of offensive rebounds. Here's Soares again. Oh boy, Soares is just quality. The Brazil international taking it to a 65-60 lead. This game getting away from MIKAWA at the absolute worst time. It is winning time right now, and it is Nagoya making the winning plays. Tough drive. Well, to say that was a must-make is an understatement. Nishida lays it up and in. To the Nagoya defense, because they really have stepped up in this fourth quarter. And what they've done is they basically said, you are not going to score on us in the paint. And they've also been just active enough to harry the shooters. But they've really, we've seen MIKAWA force it a couple of times, trying to get to the basket, and we've also seen him turn it over a couple of times. It's just not been good, efficient offense from their standpoint. Saito here gets it to Nakahigashi. Soares fouled. Team foul number 4. I like that decision by Richmond to try to come out and force a turnover. Put a little bit more pressure out of the perimeter, but now they can't afford any more fouls to put them on the line, especially not this guy. Nishida gets it to Etherton. Well, pick your poison, and he delivers. That's basketball. You pick your poison. You think, well, maybe we're going to have to give away something. But the problem is you gave away a wide open three, and Etherton knocked it down. They've been making their threes in this fourth quarter. Oh, boy. That leads to another break. Saito. And he is going to the line for a three-point play. And Nagoya Diamond Dolphins have turned this game on its head. Unbelievable. They have outscored Seahorses, MIKAWA, and I mean, that is just, you can't make it up. That turnover. They've outscored them 18-4 in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's just not going to get it done for Seahorses MIKAWA. With Saito, he's the MVP, folks. I mean, he's playing probably in Japan. The biggest position of strength is the point guard, I would guess. And there's too many good point guards, because you would think he would deserve a shot in that national team. But with Tagashi and Kawamura, it's going to be tough for him. So this is his Olympic Games. I mean, he has been absolutely sensational. Gardner 14, Lehman 11, Nishida 9, August 7, Nagano 6. They just do not have as many options offensively, and you can see it, you look at the expressions on their faces, and it's almost like the writing is on the wall for Seahorses MIKAWA. And again, they dodged so many bullets in the third quarter and were able to maintain that lead. But here they are down 70-62, and maybe the best player in the playoffs to this point, Saito, is at the line. And he completes the three-point play. Is this too big of a mountain to climb for Seahorses MIKAWA? I think it is, but maybe they'll surprise me. Lee, Nakahagashi, and they don't have to be in any rush. They just grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck. Suarez, key three-pointers. Etherton, a huge three-pointer. Saito has been electric. And then you've got the likes of Nakahagashi, who's been playing tough. Now they turn it over. Sometimes you got to tip your hat to the better team. I just feel like from an execution standpoint and decision-making standpoint in this fourth quarter, Seahorses MIKAWA could have been better. And that'll help. Well, not really, because they're not going to go to the line. So, again, the defense has been outstanding. Lee. Nice spin. Look at the D. Nothing. There is absolutely nothing for Seahorses MIKAWA. And the writing does indeed look to be on the wall right now. At the end of the third quarter, it had the feeling, and Saito makes another one. It had the feeling we had a game 3 that was coming up. August makes a rare bucket for him in this game and as well in this fourth quarter for his team. It's a 9-point difference. Nakahigashi. Okay, you don't want to foul now, whatever you do. And good defense. Oh, and an unsportsmanlike on Suarez. Oh, now this makes it interesting. This is the only thing that could really save Seahorses MIKAWA in this situation. An unsportsmanlike foul, because they will get 2 free throws and they will get possession. So they can shave 4, maybe 5 points off the deficit. Look at this. And Suarez doesn't argue, to his credit. He knows what he did. Now the question is, can Nagano make a free throw? Remember yesterday he missed a crucial free throw. And the way things have going right now, I would not be surprised if he missed this one. So here he is at the line. Nagano makes the first. Yesterday at the free throw line. I'm wrong. I thought he had attempted one. He had not attempted a free throw yesterday. And he makes both. So, this breathes a little bit of life into the comeback hopes of Seahorses MIKAWA. But it goes without saying, this is a must-score possession, a 2 or a 3. It's Nagano for 3. And the offensive rebound. And Nishida is fouled. If he'd been able to make that, that would have been huge, but instead he goes to the line for 2 free throws. That was just a bad break. A bad break for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins because it was well short and the rebound kind of just grazed the rim and fell to Nishida, who makes the first. Well, 2-possession game now. Anything is possible. Second is good for Nishida. Can they get a turnover? Saito has it. What you cannot do is commit a foul late in the shot clock. You can't let all the time go off the shot clock and then commit a foul. You got to get a stop and you got to get a rebound if you're Seahorses MIKAWA. Entry pass. Oh, boy. Once again, Saito puts it on a platter. Mr. Unstoppable gets it to Etherton. He has played out of his skin today. And you can see the importance of Etherton when he goes out of the game in the first half with the foul trouble. Look what he's able to do. And no offense to Josh Smith, that's just not his game. But this is what Etherton can do. He's got more mobility. Etherton completes the three-point play. 8 points separate these two teams. And Nagano fouled from behind by Etherton. 8 assists. Yeah, that's a good call. 8 assists for Saito to go with his 23 points. Well, Nagano had to know that the contact was coming because he had the little jump stop fake. I mean, let's put this out there, though. This has been a great season for Seahorses MIKAWA. And don't forget, they had to win a couple of games against San and Neo-Phoenix at the end of the season to get into this quarterfinal. So take nothing away from them. But Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, they are a quality team. In adverse conditions today, they've shown their quality. And they have a go-to guy, and his name is Saito. Saito has carried them in the difficult moments, and finally in the fourth quarter, the support has arrived. So if Nagano makes this, once again, it'll be a 2-possession game. So good clutch shooting from Nagano. They try to get a steal, and they do. Well, there you go. Lehman for 3. Don't go anywhere, folks. Amazing defense. Gardner gets the steal, and Lehman, in Lehman's terms, hits a clutch 3. Wow. Timeout. Well, it really felt like they were on the ropes, Seahorses MIKAWA, and now, if they can get a stop, they can go down and cut it to 1, maybe even tie the game. Unbelievable how quickly things can change. Good defense once again, and Ishii, oh, unbelievable, and Sato, the ball goes off his hands and out of bounds. And just when you felt like they were home and dry, Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, their grip on proceedings has been loosened. What incredible drama. Nagano takes the bump, scores. It's a 1-point game. I'll tell you what, the home team lucky they didn't blow the whistle there. That could have been a 3-point play. And a push called on Ishii. Wow. Doing their best imitation of Lazarus. I mean, this is like, this just illustrates why you have to play all 40 minutes. And now the pressure is on, and clutch free throw shooting because both teams over the limit. Sato makes the first. And I tell you what, if he misses this one, and you are MIKAWA, you simply must get this rebound. You can't afford not to get a missed. But Sato, clutch. Buries both. Now what do you do if you're Seahorses MIKAWA. If you look for a three, you don't have to. You can still attack the basket. Nagano puts it up from three. Etherton rebounds the miss, and he's fouled. Well, he was kind of the man of the moment, Nagano. Obviously, he was feeling confident. I mean, he's unlucky. That almost went in. Hit the front and the back of the rim and came out. Nishida picks up his fourth foul. Well, clutch free throw shooting. Goes without saying, it is a huge part of the game. Got to make your free throws down the stretch. And they're making them today, shooting better than 82% now. So 4 consecutive free throws made, 2 for Saito and now 2 for Etherton. You still do not have to go for a three, but they will. Lehman misses. Gardner gets it back. Ishii. Gardner wide open. In and out. It's not going to be their day. They've had a couple of looks. Nagano especially, and Gardner, the ball looked like it was on its way in. Now Nagoya complaining, wanting an unsportsmanlike foul there, but they're not going to review it. And they've had to sweat it out here at the end, but it looks like they're going to get the job done. And they, in Richmond's words, are going to be the first to 2 wins. If he makes this, it's going to be a 3-possession game. 18.4 seconds remains. Richmond drawing up some plays. So back to a 7-point advantage. And just think, had Nagano hit that three, you know, they called the foul in the backcourt on Ishii for the push, and Saito went to the line and made both free throws. That was a definitive moment in this game. And then Nagano went down and missed the three when the ball looked like it could have gone in. But that's sports. So Hiroshima Dragonflies, let's listen to this. So Hiroshima Dragonflies winning against San Antonio Phoenix earlier today to sweep that quarterfinal. And it looks like their opponents are going to be Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. I think this Nagoya team is good enough to win the title. I really do. But they have to eradicate some mistakes late in games. I think they're going to get away with it today. Here's Lehman. Misses. And the foul called. And the writing definitely on the wall now, that's for sure. So Etherton back at the free throw line where he's been good. He's got 17 points, and that's after getting into foul trouble early in the game. Now he's got 18 points. He's 7 of 8 at the free throw line. He's got 6 rebounds, an assist. He's got a block shot and a steal. He's been terrific. 19 points. Saito, though, without a doubt, player of the game. 23 points. Ishii misses. And that is going to be it. The party is on in Nagoya. The Diamond Dolphins. That's right, folks. You got to use the word diamond because they are sparkling right now. They have won it. They have come from behind in the fourth quarter. They have outscored Seahorses MIKAWA in this final frame, 33-17 to win it 84-75. Well, it is oh so painful to make it this far and to be so close in both games and not win it, but the reality is you've got to be able to make plays in the, you know, in the fourth quarter especially. And both days, Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, their defense in that fourth quarter especially has been great. So Nagoya Diamond Dolphins march on. And again, Seahorses MIKAWA have got nothing to be ashamed of. They played hard. They just got beat by a better team. They will be thinking they should have forced a game 3, and I think they should have. I just don't think you can't be outscored. Okay, 32-17, not 34. 32-17 in that final quarter. So they say thank you to the Seahorses MIKAWA fans that came to support them, and I'm sure that they have, they're proud of their team as well. There's Avi Schaefer. The emotion shows you how much they love their team. But at the end of the day, there can only be one winner at the end of the season. So somebody's going to be disappointed. And Devontae Gardner, great season for him, has come to an end. But as we get the close-up on his face, we're also going to hear from the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. We're going to hear from their coach, Sean Dennis, and we're going to hear, I'm sure, again from Saito. But definitely the tears are flowing for the MIKAWA fans. And no matter what you say, that's a beautiful sight for the B.LEAGUE because it really does show how that there is a connection with the fans and the product that they're putting on the court. They really have bought into it. I'm not sure. I guess when you put in a whole season's work and it comes to an end, you want to sit down and reflect, and that's what he's doing.
So, セミファイナル進出おめでとうございます。
緊張してるね。
ごめん。もうちょっと俺喉が枯れて。
We're going to hear from Sean Dennis, the coach.
もう本当に素晴らしいです。ショーン・デニスヘッドコーチ、今のお気持ちお願いします。
皆さんこんにちは。Doll family. How good is that?
Your support, so loud, so amazing. Thank you so much.
皆様のサポートが本当うるさくて力になりました。ありがとうございます。
First of all, to MIKAWA, what a team. You know, they fought hard to make the championships and really made us play for everything. And today in particular, it took us until the fourth quarter to break them, but just a great year for MIKAWA.
本当に三河も今年すごくいいシーズンだと思います。チャンピオンシップまで来るのにすごく戦ったし、特に今日うちも出し切らなきゃ勝てなかったです。素晴らしいチームです、三河も。
To our guys, again, you know, one of the things we've built up so much over the last 3 seasons, and this is where it's starting to show and pay dividends, was the resilience of our group today to hang in there, keep getting knocked down, get back up, knock down, get back up. So proud of our team today.
本当に選手すべて誇り高いです。今日はうちがこの3年間粘り強いチームを作ってきたんですけど、今日それが発揮できました。何回倒されても立ち直ってそのまま勝ち進めました。
So again, thank you so much. Your support is amazing, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. ありがとうございます。
本当に皆様のスポーツありがとうございます。来週も待ってます。
さあここでマルエガリリアプレゼンツ本日のオンファイア賞を発表いたします。本日10万7816ファイヤーを獲得し1位となったのはナンバー2斉藤匠選手です。セミファイナル進出おめでとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
率直に今のお気持ちを聞かせてください。
最高です。
So Saito has once again, for the second consecutive day, been named the On Fire Award winner.
第3クォーターまで僕たちは負けていました。第4クォーターでなんと32ポイント取りました。一体どんな話し合いがされていたんでしょうか。教えてください。
いやもう本当にやることは変わらずだったので、その4クォーターに入っても4クォーターに入ってもというか、その1クォーター、2クォーター、3クォーターでずっとやっぱ自分たちのテンポでやってたので、きっとこのテンポでずっとバスケットを僕たちはシーズン通してやってきたので、相手が疲れてきたところを絶対に、いいアドバンテージを見つけていいショットを打つっていうのがもう僕たちのこれがドルフィンズバスケットなので、それをもう40分間続けることができたのが本当に良かったのかなというふうに思います。
本日個人では23ポイント、そして8アシスト、なんと5スティールということで、ご自身のプレーを振り返ってみていかがでしょうか。
いやもう本当に全てを出し切ったので、全てを出し切れたのも、この最高のドルファミの応援があったからだと思ってます。本当にありがとうございます。
おめでとうございます。
斉藤選手にはジョジョ園様よりジョジョ園5000円分お食事券が贈られます。名古屋商業施設マルエイガレリア3階にございます。当店はパーティション席の他に座敷個室、テーブル個室、カウンター席、円卓ソファー席と多彩なタイプのお席をご用意しております。ご家族、ご友人、大切な方との素敵なひとときをお過ごしください。斉藤選手、改めておめでとうございます。
はい、そして本日の MVP ナンバー2斉藤匠選手です。
ありがとうございます。
来週も会えますね。
皆さん会えますよ。
ぜひ最後に来週への意気込みをお願いいたします。
はい、本当に先ほども話したんですけど、チャンピオンシップっていうのはやっぱこういう張り詰めた展開というのが40分間あると思うんですけど、そういった空気を、いい意味で作り上げてくれる、それはもうドルファミの皆さんの声援だと思ってるので、来週会えるということで、来週は昨日今日以上の声援をお願いしたいと思います。またドルフィンズアリーナで会いましょ
う。ドルファミの皆さん、本日も応援ありがとうございました。本日は5744名の方に来場していただきました。たくさんのご来場ありがとうございました。それではこれからドルフィンズの選手のダイヤモンドルージュ BD がアリーナを一周いたします。選手のコーディショニング調整のため入った一番いたしません。あらかじめご了承ください。それでは皆様お願いいたします。
So, as we wait for the translation of the comments from Saito, if he said something noteworthy, in the meantime, we're going to look back at the highlights of the second half, or of the game, rather. And, yeah, so Saito said today we struggled, but we believed our basketball style. Without the fans cheering for us today, we wouldn't have been able to win. The championship is always hard, speaking about the playoffs, but your cheering, your respectful cheering makes us strong. So we'll see you next week. And thanks very much. So nice words from Saito. And again, while he did a lot, he had some support. And as you look back at this first half, it was a battle. Etherton had the foul issues. Suarez, you gotta say, I mean, for me, I still think Nagoya, probably top to bottom, they're starting five. They just had more players, more reliability. They executed well, and the reward for winning this series, now in the semifinals, they will again be at home. So these Nagoya Diamond Dolphin fans are getting spoiled, getting to watch all of this championship playoff action right in front of them. Nishida, while he never really caught fire, and it would have helped Hattie, they were still in it, but they never solved Saito, and ultimately they couldn't stop Suarez as well. Here's Saito on the break, always making the right decisions, although he almost had that turnover. They won despite being out-rebounded 35-34. But ultimately, defensively, again, they were just too good in that fourth quarter. At this point, it seemed like Seahorses MIKAWA could still get it done. You know, they were turning. That was a huge sequence when Devontae Gardner checked into the game and scored. And then Ishii hit this three, and they went up by 9. And who would have thought at this point that Nagoya would come back and win it? I certainly felt like it was going to be the Seahorses' day, but Saito came back, hit a big three to cut it back to 6. And just continued to lead them in the difficult moments of the game. Atherton getting blocked. Here's Suarez. So two reliable options from deep, Suarez and Saito. And then you had Saito's playmaking and the ability to drive, the mobility of Atherton. And Suarez again knocking down the three-pointers. Well, that shot there helped keep him in it. Got it back to a three-point deficit, but then this is a huge three. And that was a big turnover. And Saito getting a three-point play. But almost inexplicably, they kind of invited MIKAWA back into the game. And when Lehman hit this three, it was a three-point game. And the Seahorses MIKAWA fans thought, hey, maybe we're going to get something here. But they missed a couple of late threes, including that one from Gardner. And sometimes they drop, sometimes they don't. And the party was on in Nagoya. So hugs all around for Nagoya, but the job is not finished. And again, you look at the numbers. Okay, we'll look at them here. Look at that, 15 of 17 at the line, 10 of 11 at the line for the Seahorses MIKAWA. So good free throw shooting for both teams. Ultimately, 4 more threes fell for Nagoya. 4 more makes inside the arc for Seahorses MIKAWA. 18 points scored off turnovers for Nagoya, so that was big. 22 points scored off turnovers, in fact, for MIKAWA. So both teams able to get out and score. 25 bench points for the visitors. 21 for the home team. And second chance points, 9 for the Diamond Dolphins and for Seahorses MIKAWA. So Saito just can't keep himself out of the headlines. 23 points, 8 assists, 14 points, 11 rebounds for Thiago Soares. Tim Soares. Nagano had 6 assists, 9 rebounds for August. To go with his 9 points. He did turn over 3 times, and he had that technical foul that was unfortunate. So here are the playoff matchups, and you can see the Ryuka Golden Kings and Oliver Tokyo going to a deciding third game in the quarterfinal, just like Utsunomiya Brex and Chiba Jets. The winner of those 2 quarterfinal series, of those 2 next games, those 2 games that will be played tomorrow, will advance to the semifinals. And in this one, it's going to be Nagoya at home taking on Hiroshima Dragonflies, who did win that second game today. So they should have 2 stars there. They beat San and Neo Phoenix. So it's Nagoya Diamond Dolphins that advance to the semifinals, where they will host Hiroshima Dragonflies. And the finals will be May 25th, 26th, and if necessary, Tuesday, May 28th. What else can I tell you, folks? It's been a great day. Just say real quickly, Bobby Parks had 5 points. Suda just 2. Etherton had the great game, 19. It's Nagoya Diamond Dolphins winning it 84-75 to complete the 2-game sweep here in the quarterfinals against a very combative, very good Seahorses MIKAWA team. It's Nagoya Diamond Dolphins that march on to the last 4 where they face Hiroshima Dragonflies. Thanks for watching, everybody.